I felt so bad. I kept thinking about Peter. What had I done? I loved Peter. I still do. But something was different now. I had kissed Ronald, and I couldn't take it back. I told myself it would never happen again. I promised myself it was just one mistake. But a few days later, it happened again. Peter was still away. I was alone with Ronald. This time, we kissed for a long time. It wasn't just a small kiss. It was real, and I didn't stop it. Now, I didn't know what to do. I was scared. I had a big secret. I didn't want to tell Peter. He would be so angry. He would never forgive me, but I didn't know how to stop what was happening with Ronald. Every time I saw him, I felt something strong. It was like a fire inside me. I couldn't control it. Days passed, and everything got normal. Peter didn't know anything. He came home from his trip, and life went on as usual. I cooked dinner, we watched TV, we played with Chester, but inside I felt different. I was keeping a secret, and it was heavy. I couldn't tell anyone. Ronald still worked for us. He was good with Chester. He was always polite to Peter. When we were all together, everything looked normal. But when Peter wasn't around, things were different. Ronald and I would look at each other. We didn't talk about what happened, but we didn't need to. We both knew. I felt guilty all the time. When I kissed my husband, I thought about Ronald. When I was with Chester, I thought about the secret. It was always there in my mind, and it was getting bigger every day. I couldn't sleep at night. I stayed awake, thinking about my mistake. I thought about telling Peter. I wanted to tell him, but I was scared. What would he say? What would he do? I didn't want to lose him. I didn't want to hurt him, but I had already hurt him, even if he didn't know. One night, I was lying in bed next to my husband, Peter. He was sleeping. I looked at him and felt so sad. He didn't know what I had done. He trusted me. He loved me, and I had broken that trust. I wanted to cry, but I didn't. I just lay there, thinking about my mistake. A few weeks later, something changed. I found out that Peter was also hiding something from me. He had been seeing someone else. I didn't know who she was, but I knew he was meeting her in secret. I saw messages on his phone. They were from a woman. At first I was angry. How could he do this to me? I was his wife. But then I realized I had done the same thing. I was no better than him. We were both living a lie. Now, everything was even more complicated. We were both keeping secrets. I didn't know what to do. Should I tell him about Ronald? Should I ask him about the woman? Or should we both keep quiet and pretend everything was fine? One night, I made a decision. I couldn't live like this anymore. I couldn't keep the secret. It was too heavy. I had to tell my husband the truth, even if it hurt him, even if it ended our marriage. I couldn't lie anymore. I sat down with him after dinner. Chester was asleep. Ronald had gone home for the night. I looked at Peter and took a deep breath. "Peter, I need to tell you something," I said. He looked at me, confused. "What is it?" he asked. "I've been seeing someone," I said. I couldn't look him in the eye. There was silence. Then he spoke. "Who?" I told him everything. I told him about Ronald, about the kiss, about the nights when he was away.